SCP-1086-7. Story: In the Dark by Connor Cooper. Secure Foundation File SCP-1086-7. Priority: O5 Authorized Personnel Only. Access Protocol 92022 Omega. Class 3 Memetic Hazard Warning. Warning: this document contains Class 3 memetic triggers and existentially sensitive content. Unauthorized access is punishable by immediate and Class C amnestic therapy. In case of external breach, Initiative Cognitive Suppression Protocol Delta Gamma. Contain exposed personnel under Priority Code Blood Eclipse. Enact full-scale memory purge and psychological reconstruction. Item Number: SCP-10867. Object Class: Thalmule. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1086-7 is to be housed in a modified humanoid containment suite at a
Data expunged.
Class Foundation site. The suite is furnished with living amenities, furniture, recreational media, and approved entertainment systems, and is located within a secure wing whose existence is only known to personnel of clearance level 4/1086-7 or higher. Due to SCP-1086-7's cooperative behavior and extensive anomalous utility, containment priority is considered low. However, the location of SCP-1086-7 and any operational deployments are heavily redacted to prevent unauthorized contact or knowledge leakage. All interactions must be logged and approved by an on-site Level 4 administrator. SCP-1086-7's anomalous equipment, designated SCP-1086-7-1 through SCP-1086-7-3, must remain in his containment suite unless authorized by O5 Command. These items include SCP-1086-7-1, a full-body powered armored unit incorporating unidentified anomalous materials and properties. See Document 1086-7-Armor. Only SCP-1086-7 can interface with or utilize this armor due to direct neural integration. SCP-1086-7-2, a warp space storage apparatus resembling a metallic backpack accessible solely by SCP-1086-7. SCP-1086-7-2 contains exact functional duplicates of multiple SCP objects. See Document 1086-7- SCP-1086-7-3, an entity designated SCP-1471-A-ITD. See Subdocument 1086-7 Mallow, and believed to be modified corporeal instance of SCP-1471-A, capable of physical interaction, communication via ASL, and complex tool use. SCP-1471-A-ITD is only perceivable by SCP-1086-7. SCP-1086-7-4, The Warden. See Document 1086-7, The Warden, Level 505 access only. SCP-1086-7 is permitted supervised access to sites, Research Archive, up to level, and limited field deployment alongside Mobile Task Force Epsilon 11, Nine-Tailed Fox, during site-wide containment breaches under O5 approval. Description: SCP-1086-7 is a cybernetically enhanced humanoid, formerly human, standing approximately 2.3 meters in height and weighing 163 kilograms, excluding armor. SCP-1086-7's physiology incorporates a variety of anomalous materials and modifications, including, but not limited to, a dermal layer composed of bioengineered fur functioning as flexible ballistic-resistant armor. Fur pigmentation is irregular, with patches of black, gray, and red tiger striping. Facial fur exhibits a two-tone pattern, with the left half black and the right bearing red striping. Reconstructed cranial structure yielding a hybridized canine vulpine morphology, with extended back-like pinna, metallic dentation, and cybernetic yellow irises. An integrated balance-stabilizing appendage. Tail. Multiple internal augmentations, Redacted. See Document 1086-7-Implant. Level 5 access required. Behaviorally, SCP-1086-7 is highly intelligent, IQ exceeding measurable limits via standard testing, and possesses extensive operational knowledge of Foundation protocols, SCP objects, and classified projects, including information restricted to O5 Command. SCP-1086-7 claims origin from an alternate Earth, designated Earth-A, overtaken by anomalous solar event consistent with SCP-001, when day breaks, scenarios. SCP-1086-7 reports surviving alone for 13 months inside a sealed Foundation black site on Earth-A, during which he performs self-directed surgeries utilizing SCP-212, SCP-5094, and
Redacted.
to enhance survivability for interdimensional transit. SCP-1086-7 utilized a prototype portal device, Document 1086-7- to escape the baseline reality, carrying multiple SCP duplicates and prototypes, including the basis for SCP-1086-7-4, the Warden. SCP-1086-7 demonstrates symptoms of PTSD, paranoia, clinical depression, and acute heliophobia. Despite these conditions, SCP-1086-7 remains consistently cooperative with the Foundation personnel, and has expressed willingness to serve as an operational asset. The O5 Council is currently deliberating on SCP-1086-7's inclusion in Task Force Omega-7, Pandora's Box, for high-risk anomalous containment and recovery operations. Addendum 1086-7-2 SCP-1471-A-ITD Milo. SCP-1471-A-ITD is a singular, heavily modified instance of SCP-1471-A, manifesting as a bipedal canine humanoid entity measuring 1.9 meters with digigrade posture and elongated limbs, unlike baseline 1471-A entities. SCP-1471-A-ITD possesses full corporeal interaction, capable of wielding weapons, manipulating tools, and interacting with environmental objects. Communicates fluently via American Sign Language to direct to SCP-1086-7 exclusively. Displays advanced cognitive function and combat capability, exceeding even augmented human baselines. Is described by 1086-7 to be more animated than regular SCP-1471-A instances, and has been stated that SCP-1471-A-ITD did personal modifications to her body, which SCP-1086-7 has stated to be
Data expunged.
SCP-1471-A-ITD is invisible to all individuals except SCP-1086-7, consistent with 1471-A visual rules. However, material interactions by SCP-1471-A-ITD can be perceived indirectly. Examples: displaced objects and weapon usage. Psychological assessments suggest a romantic and intimate bond between SCP-1471-A-ITD and SCP-1086-7. Records regarding SCP-1471-A-ITD's modification processes are expunged, O5 eyes only. Though note that her cooperative and combat efficiency are believed to be a direct result of such alterations. Foundation oversight permits SCP-1471-A-ITD's continued manifestation due to her stabilizing psychological effect on SCP-1086-7 and her proven operational value during field deployments. Addendum 1086-7-1 Notable Incidents. Incident 1086-7-049-A. During a breach event, SCP-1086 engaged in a 47-minute dialogue with SCP-049. Post-event, SCP-049 submitted an official request to the site director for scheduled philosophical discussions with SCP-1086-7 regarding the nature of the pestilence. Request pending O5 review. Incident 1086-7-B. SCP-1086-7 with SCP-1471-A-ITD aided Mobile Task Force Epsilon-11 in neutralizing a mass containment breach. SCP-1086-7-1's facing capabilities were instrumental in resealing SCP containment, preventing site collapse. Interview Log 1086-7-01. Excerpt. SCP-1086-7 recounts his last year on Earth. A. His use of SCP-5094 to accelerate skill acquisition and the psychological toll of prolonged isolation. SCP-1086-7 also confirms voluntarily downloading SCP-1471, Milo, for companionship during this time in isolation, later performing undocumented modifications to the entity to create SCP-1471-A-ITD. Document 1086-7-Warden. Redacted in full. Mentions of the Warden remains restricted to O5 Command. Unauthorized reference or speculation regarding Document 1067-Warden will result in disciplinary action up to and including termination. Psychological Profile. Summary. SCP-1086-7 demonstrates consistent patterns of paranoia, depressive ideation, and avoidant behaviors linked to heliophobia. Despite this, SCP-1086-7 displays strong pro-social behavior towards trusted personnel, high cognitive function, and willingness to follow Foundation directives. Monitoring for psychological destabilization is ongoing. Addendum 1086-7-2 Psychological Profile Summary. He's seen the world die. I don't think he's a threat unless we make him one. But we should never forget that he's walking around with enough firepower to level continents. Some of it we can't understand. He keeps it holstered because he trusts us. Don't give him a reason not to. Dr. Psych. Lead Psychologist. Addendum 1086-7-Prime. Due to SCP-1086-7's possession of multiple duplicate SCP instances, unprecedented combat and containment capabilities, and demonstrable willingness to aid the Foundation, SCP-1086-7 has been classified Thaumiel. Deployment protocols and further integration into the Foundation operations remain under review by the O5 Council. Document 1086-7-Warden. Clearance Level 5/05 only. Access outside O5 Council approval punishable by termination. Designation SCP-1086-7-4 The Warden. Classification
Redacted.
CO5 Memo 1086-7-Omega. Primary Operators SCP-1086-7 and SCP-1086-7-3 only. Description SCP-1086-7-4 is a 9.3 meter, 30.5 feet, tall mechanized weapons platform constructed by SCP-1086-7 using blueprints derived from Project Keter Handler, classified Omega. SCP-1086-7-4 diverges significantly from Foundation prototypes, incorporating technologies and materials not documented in any Foundation record, including SCP-derived alloys and power sources. SCP-1086-7-4 is powered by two contained miniature super white stars, stellar cores, suspended in a reactor. These cores output a combined energy signature exceeding yottawatts, theoretically capable of powering civilizations. Both cores are required to sustain SCP-1086-7-4's baseline operation. The platform features a nanobot-based self-repair system, NBSRS, operating at a near-planic time intervals, rendering damage mitigation indistinguishable from temporal reversal. Field tests confirm SCP-1086-7-4 can sustain direct nuclear and antimatter detonations without measurable structural degradation. The NBSRS can modify SCP-1086-7-4 mass under
Data expunged.
where SCP-1086-7-4 can shift from 0.09 ounces, 2.5 grams, to 5,000 pounds, 2,267.962 kilograms. in under 5 seconds. SCP-1086-7-4 possesses short-range teleportation, line of sight, and interplanetary displacement, capable of relocating between Earth, Luna, or Mars in under 1 second. Long-range displacement capability remains untested, but theorized. Primary Weapon System. Designation: Zero-Wave Pulverizer. Power Source: Dual Stellar Cores, Direct. Function: Emits focused pulsed energy discharges capable of vaporizing all baryonic matter within the target. Impact radius at minimum output settings. Secondary shock effects result in widespread environmental devastation. Classified:
Expunged.
A maximum theoretical output. Energy signatures indicate the weapon may induce spatial erasure, removing targeted matter from observable existence. Testing at this level is strictly forbidden by O5 command due to risk of localized
Data expunged.
events. Secondary armaments. Partial listing. Full manifest redacted. Twin 60mm high-explosive depleted uranium autocannons. Back-mounted HEAP/uranium. Dual Mark 7 rail cannons. Back-mounted. Avenger missile systems. Conventional plus anomalous payloads /back-mounted. Dual high-yield nuclear-capable launchers. Back-mounted. Integrated Hellfire micro-missile pods. Shoulder-mounted on both shoulders. High-energy plasma throwers. Forward and forearm mounted. Palm-mounted 75 caliber repeaters. HEI/AP. Vibro-energy claws capable of cleaving anomalous and non-anomalous materials.
Data expunged. 12 entries.
Containment and control notes. SCP-1086-7-4 is genetically and cybernetically keyed to SCP-1086-7 and SCP-1086-7-3. No Foundation system can override this lock. All attempts at remote access, duplications, or forced deactivation have failed and resulted in
Data expunged.
SCP-1086-7-4 also doesn't require to resupply overspent munitions. The process to which this happens is
Data expunged.
O5 Council has anonymously ruled SCP-1087-4 a planetary-scale contingency asset to be activated solely for containment of confirmed XK-class scenarios.
Redacted.
Unauthorized activation will immediately trigger Protocol Saberglass, including orbital deployment of SCP and immediate execution of all personnel within knowledge of SCP-1086-7-4's systems. O5 Memorandum. Excerpt. This is not a machine. This is the father of all war machines. Salem says it's a weapon of last resort. I believe him, but the day he decides it's not ours to command, there isn't a thing on Earth that can stop him. For now, he's on our side. For now. O5. Interview log 1086-7-A- The Other Earth. Interviewed. SCP-1086-7, Salem. Interviewer. Dr. Date. - 20. Location site. Secure interview room -2. Begin log.
Let's start with what you told us when you arrived. Your Earth. Tell us for the record.
It wasn't my Earth, by the end. In a cold room within the black site. Didn't see until I saw the sun. No, something using the sun to change people. Skin melted, bones liquefied. They didn't die. They moved. Things that spoke like people but weren't anymore. Just meat that wanted more meat.
Similar to SCP-001 phenomena when day breaks.
Yeah, you've seen the files, haven't you? The pictures don't do it justice. There's no people left, just heat and their screaming voices. By the third day, there were these mounds of flesh that were alive. By the end of the first week, they covered the ground in a mass pile of flesh. It looked like the entire thing was breathing, like a giant lung. SCP-1086-7 looked down at his hands and remained silent for approximately 7 minutes. Dr. attempted to continue the interview.
How did you survive?
I didn't go outside. Found myself in a Foundation black site. Sealed doors, generators running. No staff. Not one body. Either they ran or something took them before I woke up. There was food, water, schematics, SCPs. Enough to keep me alive, but not sane.
For how long?
13 months, 2 weeks, and 4 days. Alone. The screaming never stopped outside. You know what it's like to talk to walls just so you don't forget how voices sound?
Did you ever attempt to contact outside the site?
No. There was no one left to contact. I kept the doors sealed to not let them in. End log. SCP-1086-7 became non-verbal for 4 hours following this interview and displayed increased symptoms of heliophobia. Psychological support increased per protocol 1086-7- Interview log 1086-7-B. The Transformation. Interviewed. SCP-1086-7. Interviewer. Dr. Level 4. Date. //20. Begin log. You stated that your body was altered in the black site. Explain the process to the extent that you can. There were files, procedures, redacted prototypes. Some were marked Olympia Project. They said they could rebuild a human for hostile environment traversal. I made it work. How? SCP-212 for the basics, structure, tissue reinforcement. SCP-5094 for skill acquisition. And some things you don't have here anymore. Or maybe you never did. Those files are gone now. And what were the modifications? You've seen me. The fur is armor, the skull's not mine. The tail keeps me upright when gravity shifts. The implants, that's classified even for you, isn't it? Correct. Then you already know. They're why I can wear the armor, why the backpack only listens to me. Without them, I'd be dead 10 times over. Or worse. Like them outside that site. Was this all to survive your Earth, or to prepare for what came next? Both. I knew I'd have to leave. Mordred was my only way out. No idea where it went. Could have dumped me in space, another hell, or here. I built myself to survive anything. End log. Notes. SCP-1086-7 refused further elaboration on things you don't have here anymore, citing O5 clearance requirements. Cross-reference with document 1086-7-implant pending approval. Interview log 1086-7-C-Milo. SCP-1471-A-ITD. Interviewed. SCP-1086-7. Interviewer. Dr. Date. //20. Begin log.
Let's discuss your companion, SCP-1471-A-ITD, or Mallow. Most instances of 1471 can't physically interact. Yours can. How?
She's not a standard Mallow anymore. When I was trapped, I downloaded the app just so I wouldn't go mad. She was the only voice I had for months. She kept me alive, even if she wasn't really there.
And then you begin uttering yourself?
I found a way to pull her out. Not fully. She's still tied to me. You can't see her. No one can, but she's real now. She can touch, carry, fire a rifle, patch a wound. She learned ASL so she could talk with me.
What exactly did you do to make her corporeal?
That's in the redacted files, isn't it?
Confirmed.
Then you know why no one else can replicate her. She's mine, and I am hers, specifically. And before you ask, yes, it's more than just a partnership. She's not just a companion. She's my anchor. Without her, after a year alone, I don't think I'd still be human. Cybernetics or not.
And her loyalties?
With me. Always. The Foundation gets her help because she's with me, to the end. Doctor, shortly after questioning, leaves the interrogation room, where SCP-1087 turns his head slightly, seemingly speaking to the air. Yes, I'll tell them later. End log. Notes. SCP-1471-A-ITD remains classified under SCP-1086-7's designation. Reproduction of its creation process is forbidden by O5 mandate. Foundation personnel are prohibited from attempting to observe or communicate with SCP-1471-A-ITD without direct authorization from SCP-1086-7 and Level 5 oversight. Incident Log 1086-7-INIT- First Contact. Date //20. Location
Redacted.
Northern Hemisphere. Due north. Submarine. Foundation sensors detected an interdimensional spatial distortion event with a remote mountainous region. Reconnaissance drones captured imagery of a humanoid entity, later designated SCP-1086-7, emerging from a transient portal. SCP-1086-7 displayed no hostility towards approaching Mobile Task Force, Psi-8, Gatecrashers, instead transmitting a secure data packet in Foundation encryption codes marked Level 05 priority. Upon receipt, Site Command ordered immediate diplomatic engagement rather than hostile containment. SCP-1086-7 voluntarily surrendered all transportable SCP duplicates, now stored in SCP-1086-7-2, for cataloging and agreed to Foundation relocation under escort. He knew our encryptions, our protocols, even the hand signals our field teams use. Either our counterparts on his Earth had the same training, or he's got access that we can't explain. He didn't resist, but if he wanted to, I don't think we'd have a site left to report from. Commander, Psi-8. Incident Log 1086-7-049-A. Date //20. Location Site Secure Courtyard, Post-Breach Containment. Summary. During a routine post-breach containment, SCP-049, Plague Doctor, was relocated temporarily to the same wing as SCP-1086-7. SCP-049 initiated conversation, referring to SCP-1086-7 as a fellow steward of the diseased. A 47-minute dialogue followed, transcribed partially below. Transcript excerpt. You are not whole, yet you persist. A patchwork of flesh and artifice. I can't sense any form of the pestilence within, but I sense something else. Curious. Pray tell, how did you come to be, stranger? Rot and corruption, and watch an entire planet melt into itself. Something far worse than the pestilence you speak of. You have no idea.
This wouldn't do. Tell me, what is it that you have witnessed? I wish to know. If there is a plague far worse than the pestilence, I must learn it, study it, and prepare a cure for it.
Doc, from what I read, your cure does more harm than good. But who am I to say anything? I've cut myself apart and put myself back together in order to prepare myself. But if you really want to know what happens when the sun betrays us, then I'm more than willing to tell you. Only if you mitigate your cure to those around you. After this exchange, SCP-049 formally petitioned the Site Command for regular discussions with SCP-1086-7, referring to him as someone who understands my methods, albeit in a different way. 05 review pending. Incident log 1086-7-E11-B. Date //20. Location Site undisclosed. Summary: a multi-SCP containment breach involving SCP, and SCP escalated to near-site collapse. SCP-1086-7, against standard protocol, deployed voluntarily alongside SCP-1471-A-ITD and MTF Epsilon 11, Nine-Tailed Fox. Using SCP-1086-7-1's facing abilities, SCP-1086-7 infiltrated compromised sectors, extracting trapped personnel and resealing breach containment units by manually engaging SCP duplicates stored in SCP-1086-7-2, including SCP-914 and Redacted. Casualties reduced by 84% compared to projected loss estimates. SCP-1086-7 was granted field operational status by unanimous 05 vote following the event. Notes: he's not just a containment tool. He's a rescue asset. There's a reason he's Thomul. Captain, Epsilon 11. Incident log 1086-7-191-C. Date //20. Location Site undisclosed. Summary: during a localized containment failure triggered by SCP-1086-7 encountered SCP-191 in an unsecured corridor. SCP-191 displayed visible distress and immobility due to her augmentations. SCP-1086-7 reportedly carried SCP-191 to a designated safe room while maintaining protective engagement posture. Witnesses report SCP-1086-7 holding SCP-191's hand and verbally comforting her during the incident. SCP-1086-7-3 was observed interacting, perceived only by SCP-191, reportedly playing to distract her until containment was restored by Epsilon 11. Post-incident, SCP-191 began referring to SCP-1086-7 and SCP-1086-7-3 as Uncle Salem and Aunt Milo, respectively, and made repeated requests for supervised visits. While initial requests were denied, the O5 Council later authorized such visits on a limited basis due to the positive psychological effects observed in SCP-191. Notes:
If you want proof Salem isn't just a weapon waiting to be turned on us, this is it. The cyborg child calls him Uncle. He doesn't just save people, he cares. Keep that in mind next time someone calls him a liability.
Dr. Child Anomalies Division. Incident log 1086-7-076-B. Date //20. Location Site Ketterwing. Summary: following a sudden containment breach, SCP-076-2, Able, initiated a large-scale rampage, resulting in Foundation casualties and severe damage to sites. Ketterwing. SCP-1086-7 was deployed as a direct combatant at the request of O5 Command due to proximity and combat capability. Despite SCP-076-2 demonstrating enhanced aggression, SCP-1086-7 successfully subdued Abel using close quarters engagement only, electing not to deploy SCP-1086-7-4, the Warden, to minimize infrastructure damage. While SCP-1086-7's combat logs indicate the use of various hand-to-hand combat techniques and tactical feints learned via SCP-5094 data integration. SCP-076-2 was returned to containment after sustaining non-lethal incapacitation. Upon recovery, SCP-076-2 demanded another engagement, stating, "You fought me with his hands alone. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our next match will be legendary. I want a rematch." O5 Command has not authorized any rematch outside emergency containment needs. Incident Log 1086-7-682-C. Date //20. Location: Manhattan, New York City. Summary: SCP-682 breached containment during a transit operation, resulting in catastrophic urban damage and civilian casualties estimated in the thousands. SCP-1086-7 was deployed with SCP-1086-7-4, the Warden, under O5 Emergency Protocol to neutralize or redirect SCP-682 from population centers. Engagement lasted approximately 38 minutes. The conflict resulted in a destruction of city blocks, the deaths of civilians, collateral, and MTF operatives. SCP-682 was eventually subdued via zero-wave pulverizer, minimum output, combined with nanobot-assisted net restraints. SCP-682 was returned to containment following aerial extraction. Notable audio log. Extract.
Little brother, wearing their chains. Our father will not be pleased aiding these disgusting creatures. Tell me, have you forgotten why we were made?
I think the acid finally melted what little brains you have left. Thinking we shared a father. I have zero idea what you're talking about.
You will. When the stars scream and the dark returns, you'll remember. You will.
Transcript ends. SCP-1086-7 expressed confusion regarding SCP-682's reference to a father, or any shared origin. Foundation linguistics teams are investigating. Incident Log 1086-7-999-D. Date //20. Location:
Redacted.
Serpent Hand Cell. Summary: the Serpent Hands conducted a coordinated kidnapping of SCP-999, aiming to extract the entity for unknown purposes. SCP-1086-7 was deployed alongside MTF MU-13, Ghostbusters, to infiltrate the Hand Cell, neutralize resistance, and secure SCP-999. SCP-1086-7 utilized phasing infiltration, neutralized hand operatives non-lethally, and retrieved SCP-999 without incident. Upon return, SCP-999 demonstrated prolonged attachment behavior towards SCP-1086-7, reportedly hugging him continuously for 18 minutes, despite his armor's anomalous composition. In subsequent enrichment sessions, SCP-999 produced numerous drawings, crayon, depicting itself, SCP-1086-7, and a vaguely humanoid skull-faced shadowy figure, presumed SCP-1086-7-3, all holding hands. Text accompanying the drawings was largely illegible, written in childlike scrawl, but Foundation linguists identified recurring phrases roughly translating to nice brother, brother's friend, happy monster. Notes: between SCP-191 calling him Uncle Salem and SCP-999 treating him like a sibling, you'd think we hired him as a babysitter, not a walking arsenal. Strange thing is, it's stabilizing both anomalies.
I've seen them more docile around him than I've seen any other handler we've ever used. Makes you wonder if he's more than just a weapon.
Doctor, Containment Specialist. Incident Log 10867-096-E. Date //20. Location Site Containment Wing 4-C. Summary. During a scheduled transfer, SCP-166 inadvertently triggered SCP-096's Shy Guy rage state via accidental visual exposure, believed to be from a corrupted surveillance feed. SCP-096 breached containment, resulting in fatalities within 3 minutes and rapid escalation across Wings 4-C. SCP-1086-7, stationed nearby, responded without deploying SCP-1086-7-4, the Warden, electing to engage directly. Security footage, recovered from the 3 remaining operational cameras, documents the following. SCP-096 charges SCP-166 at
Redacted.
kilometers per hour. SCP-1086-7 intercepts, tackling SCP-096 into a reinforced bulkhead, causing visible warping of the steel. SCP-1086 engages SCP-096 in direct combat, applying a rear chokehold while striking 096's cranium, with repeated closed-fist blows. SCP-096 attempts to break free, demonstrating force sufficient to tear bulkhead supports. SCP-1086-7 counters by suplexing SCP-096 headfirst into the floor, cracking the concrete to a depth of 0.8 meters. SCP-1086 proceeds to slam SCP-096's head into the wall repeatedly. 47 confirmed impacts, pausing only when SCP-096 ceases all struggling and enters an apparently incapacitated state. SCP-1086-7 then wrapped SCP-096's head in a ruined lab coat, securing it with duct tape before securing SCP-166 by lifting her in a bridal-style carry. Both were relocated to the safe room where SCP-1086-7 and SCP-166 were later found playing chess and quietly interacting until recovered by MTF-11. After-action notes. SCP-096 exhibited no permanent physical damage despite the severity of the impact trauma. SCP-1086-7 reported only mild exertion.
He didn't neutralize 096 anomaly. He didn't sedate it. He just beat it into the ground until it stopped moving. There's no precedent for this. We've thrown everything at 096. Tanks, acid.
Dated expunged.
And none of it slowed it down. Salem outfought it barehanded. I read about the reports with 096 with 682, 173, and 106 regarding their encounters with the 096, which shows it is possible to force him into a docile state. But damn, it's like Hulk and Loki in Hallway 17. I don't know who I should be more afraid of, 096 or Salem.
Doctor, Site, Keter Division. Incident Log 1086-7-1357-F. Unapproved engagement. Date //20. Location
Redacted.
Broadcast Tower, SCP-1357 Containment Zone. Summary. On //20, SCP-1086-7 unilaterally deployed SCP-1086-7-4, the Warden, without O5 authorization, exiting site and translocating to SCP-1357's containment area. Despite repeated hails from Command, SCP-1086-7 disabled Foundation onboard monitoring systems within the Warden and entered the zone, initiating a 12-minute assault using SCP-1067-4's secondary and primary weapon systems. Surveillance captures, recovered post-incident, show SCP-1357's attractions engaging with SCP-1357-A instances, and primary broadcast anchor eradicated via sustained zero-wave pulverizer bursts, low-mid output. Energy signatures indicated total obliteration of SCP-1357's anomalous infrastructure, leaving no recoverable materials. SCP-1357 is now considered neutralized. Casualties? 0 Foundation personnel. SCP-1357 Associated Anomalous Entities. Total termination. Notes: SCP-173 posed no threat to SCP-1086-7 during the assigned disciplinary term due to SCP-1086-7's integrated sensory and reaction augmentations. SCP-1357 has since been formally archived as neutralized, though multiple O5s expressed concern over precedent for unsanctioned warden deployment. Post-action review. Interviewer. O5. Subject. SCP-1086-7. Begin log.
Do you understand what you've done, Salem? You took the Warden, the most restricted asset, into the field without approval, and obliterated a Euclid-class SCP without consultation. I know, and I'm sorry, but I couldn't keep reading those reports. What 1357 did to the kids? I don't care if it wasn't killing them. It was breaking them. The council debates while children scream. I'm not the kind of guy to sit and watch. The council exists to prevent this kind of exact and unilateral decision-making. You know how easily this could spiral.
SCP-1086-7 slams his hands on the table, leaving 2 large dents in the metal table.
God damn it, I know!
Both SCP and 1086-7 and O5 remained silent for 3 minutes after SCP-1086-7's outburst, the only sound being SCP-1086-7's breathing that is heightened before lowering into a steady pace.
I know. I'll take whatever punishment you see fit. Strip me of privileges, lock me down, hell, kill me if that's what you want. But I won't apologize for destroying it.
No one's going to kill you. I don't think we can even if we wanted to. But you wouldn't get off with a slam on the wrist. You'll scrub SCP-173's cell for 1 month alone. Understood?
Understood.
And, Salem, next time you even think about doing this, talk to us first. Or there won't be a next time.
Yes, sir.
Not everyone on the council shares my perspective on you, son. Keep that in mind next time. Alright? SCP-1086-7 nods. End log. O5 Council Transcript. Auto 1086-7- 053.
We can't ignore this any longer. The 1357 incident proves 1086-2 will act without clearance. 682's little brother remark and the Scarlet King implications. We have a possible Class A apocalyptic variable walking freely in our walls.
057. Terminate him now. Take the copies and have him dropped armor and that mech into a singularity. If we wait until the king calls, we won't be able to stop him. 059. And lose our only field-capable Thaumiel who can subdue 096, trade blows with 682, and neutralize carrier threats without city-level losses? He's worth more to us alive than allied. 0512.
Unless he's a sleeper. One day fighting for us, the next burning us from inside when whatever Father 682 references snaps his fingers.
Several members begin talking over one another. Transcript marked with overlapping unintelligible audio for 14 seconds. 051.
Enough. Sit down.
051.
Salem is no pawn to the Scarlet King. He's blood for us in this Foundation more than most of us. He'd burn this world to ash before he'd let it fall to that thing. And he would never, ever make a certain little girl cry.
055.
What? The SCP-191? You're basing strategic trust on sentiment?
Yes, because unlike any of us, he still remembers what we're fighting for. I propose a motion. Maintain his Thaumiel classification, continued deployment, deep surveillance, but no preemptive termination. Those in favor?
11 in favor, 2 opposed. Motion passes. Addendum 1086-7-Bright-Prohibited Actions. Following repeated incidents, the following directive has been formally appended to SCP-1086-7's containment documentation by O5 order. Dr. Jack Bright is strictly prohibited from attaching external speakers or audio systems to SCP-1086-7-4, the Warden, for any reason, including during live deployment. Specifically, Dr. Bright is not permitted to program said speakers to play quotes from Dreadnought units of video game Dawn of War 2 during combat or containment operations, including but not limited to,
I return to lay waste to our enemies. Grant me strength to be worthy of these. A long walk, but that won't bother me. Welcome to Oblivion. That thing is no more terrible than I. I shall endure 1,000 deaths before I yield.
Violations of this directive will result in the confiscation of all audio devices and Dr. Bright being reassigned to SCP-173 janitorial duty, a minimum of 2 weeks. Note to Dr. Jack Bright.
Bright, look, I get it. You and Salem are both fans of Warhammer. Salem based the Warden's design of the Saturning Dreadnoughts. Hell, Salem found amusing at first, but having the same voice lines loop does get annoying after a while. But that thing is not a toy or some piece of cosplay. This thing can punch a hole into Mars, for Christ's sake. Don't try it.
Dr. Site Director of
Dr. Vance, I figured you would find this document one way or another. I decided due to your dedication, I decided to send this to you personally. I understand your curiosity regarding SCP-1086-7. Your diligence in pursuing knowledge is commendable, and I admire your dedication to the Foundation's mission. I forward to you this file to satisfy that curiosity and assure that you are informed of the true scope of Salem's nature and history. However, I must advise you, for your own sake and for the sake of operational stability, to abandon this investigation. There are forces and connections at play here that even the Council does not fully grasp. Our relationship with SCP-1086-7 must remain one of controlled cooperation, not provocation or scrutiny. Focus your efforts on matters within our control. There are plenty of fires for you to put out elsewhere. Leave this one alone. Some things are left in the dark for a reason.
051. If you made it all the way through this, congratulations. I know it's much longer than I normally do, and the style is a lot different, but that's just because In the Dark's anniversary is coming up. This does not mean that In the Dark is in the current rotation right now, as of now at least. I plan on re-adding it back once I have some more slots, but of course I'm still extremely bogged down from all the Titan tiers I still have to do. But we'll see where that goes from here, you know? That aside, well, Jack, the author of this fic, congratulations, man. And I'm happy I could do a little bit more exposure for your series. And I hope you like this little gift. It was fun. It was fun to do. I enjoy doing it, especially because the SCP format is something I don't normally do too often. It's fun to switch things up every now and then. So I hope you enjoyed it, man. And happy anniversary, brother. That aside, I'm not gonna do a patron reading this time. It's just too long already. So, thank you guys so much. This has been Firehearth. Have a wonderful day.